Hi everyone, Pam here from Creative Homescaping. Are you looking for easy holiday appetizers to serve to your visiting guests? Well, then stay tuned. In today's video, I'm participating in an open collaboration that's being hosted by Inspired Living with Kristi and Sherry of the Junkin Chick. I will put links to their channels as well as the playlist when it's available in the description box down below. For my easy holiday appetizer, I'm going to be sharing a recipe for cheesy eggplant slices. It is very quick to put together. It doesn't take many ingredients, but it tastes delicious. And if you don't like eggplant because of it tasting bitter, well, then I'm going to show you how to get rid of that bitterness. So with that being said, let's get started. So here are the ingredients you will need to make my easy appetizer. Now, some of this you could actually do a little more from scratch, but since this is supposed to be easy, I am taking my favorite shortcuts. So in order to make this, you will need an eggplant, and you want one that is rather cylindrical in shape and not too rounded at the bottom, because you are going to be slicing this and stacking them. So it makes it a lot easier if you can keep your slices a consistent diameter. Then you are going to want some mozzarella cheese. This is the pre-shredded kind from Costco. You are also going to want some Parmesan cheese. This is also pre-shredded from Costco. And then I am using pre-made pesto. I love the Trader Joe's version of pesto, but you could make this from scratch, and you could buy the blocks of cheeses and shred them yourself. But for ease, I'm getting it all pre-done. And then you will need some salt. Now, the pesto has salt in it, and the cheese kind of tastes salty, but the reason you need the salt is the trick to making your eggplant not taste bitter. And I'll show you how to do that. In order to bake the slices, you will need an oven, an actual oven, not a microwave. You will need a baking sheet of some sort, and then you will also need some type of oil to oil the pan. Even though this is non-stick, because you will be using cheese, sorry about that, it's glaring on the baking sheet. Because you will be using cheese, you don't want anything to really stick to the pan, so I will be lightly oiling the pan as well. And of course, you will need a cutting board and some sort of knife to slice the eggplant. And the last thing you will need is some paper towels. You are going to put a couple of layers of paper towels down. After you've washed the eggplant, you're going to cut it into slices. First, you need to cut off the stem end, and then you're going to slice it into 1/4 inch slices. You want to slice the entire eggplant. Once you have it sliced, you're going to arrange the slices in pairs on 2 layers of paper towels. You want pairs because you're going to stack the eggplant. Now you're going to take fine sea salt and sprinkle it lightly over the top of each slice. This will pull the bitterness out of the eggplant. Then set a timer for 15 minutes. While you're waiting, it is the perfect time to grease your baking sheet. I'm using olive oil, but you could use any kind of oil, melted butter, or you could use a greased piece of parchment paper lining the pan. After 15 minutes, you're going to flip the eggplant slices over and salt the other side to repeat the process, and let the salt do its magic. Then once again, set the timer for 15 minutes. While you're waiting this time, you can preheat your oven to 375 degrees. You also want to make sure the rack is in the middle of the oven or closer towards the top. After that 15 minutes is over, you want to pat the tops of the eggplant to remove any of the residue from the salt, because that's where the bitterness is. The other side will be absorbed by the paper towels already on the counter. Next, you want to take the pesto and you are going to start assembling your stacks. I will show you one, and then I'll show you how I normally do it, which is assembly line fashion. So you take about a teaspoon or so of the pesto, just eyeball it, and then about a tablespoon of mozzarella to fill the top, depends on the size of your eggplant slice. And then you repeat the process with the other matching slice. And then you will stack them one on the other and push the top one down slightly onto the lower one. Then you will take your Parmesan and sprinkle a tiny bit of that over the top. So here I am showing you my normal method. It goes very quickly when you do it more assembly line fashion, as I said. Do all the pesto, then all the mozzarella, then stack them, and then all the Parmesan. And once you have them all stacked and assembled, then you're going to transfer them to your baking sheet. Assuming your oven is at temperature, once you're done putting them all on the baking sheet, you can then put them in the oven. I'm not sure why the lighting changed right then. I think a cloud may have gone by. And now you're going to set the timer for 20 minutes, but you do want to check them periodically to make sure they don't burn. While I was waiting for them to be done, I thought I'd show you how stormy and blustery it was outside. It was raining most of the day where I live. And here they are halfway through. The cheese is melted but not yet brown. And here is what they look like fresh out of the oven. Nicely browned. Now you could stack these higher if you wanted to. Obviously this is an appetizer you would need to eat with a fork. But the eggplant gets soft enough that you can use it to cut the eggplant. You don't need a knife and fork. And if you did want to make them smaller, you could take a little round cutter and cut out smaller circles out of the larger ones, or cut them into wedges. The other option would be to use a Japanese eggplant if you can find it, because they are relatively long and skinny. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you think you might try this appetizer either during the holidays or just on a regular basis. I don't always make it as an appetizer. I often make it as a side dish, and in fact I think that's how I'm going to serve it tonight, with some fish that I recently picked up at the grocery store. I didn't fish. I don't fish. But I hope you enjoyed watching this, and if you participated, let me know that in the comments down below. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And lastly, if you're new to my channel, I post several videos a week on how to creatively manage and decorate your home. Stay tuned for some upcoming holiday decorating videos. I look forward to seeing all of you next time. Thank you once again for tuning in, and thanks once again to Kristi and Sherry for hosting this. This was a lot of fun to do. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. And here they are with dinner.